years ago, we were given a small window in which we could fix our planet. Climate change, geopolitics, our reliance on the Earth's natural resources, its oil, coal and gas, it just got the better of us. We failed. So we had the idea to ask survival experts to help us get through this thing. But who are we? We have experts in survival, weapons, logistics, transport, agriculture. And we are ready for most apocalyptic scenarios. We are the Post-Apocalyptic Survivors Club. So if things go bad, and I mean really bad, could our club save this country? The thing is, the apocalypse hasn't happened yet, but it will. And we need more people, more experts in their field, and more people we can help. So if you want to join a club, forget about your normal little clubs where you play chess or bridge or some rubbish like that. Join a club where you can make a difference before it's too late.
Thank you for watching the teaser trailer for the Post-Apocalyptic Survivors Club film. I'm Lawrence Chapman and I'm the writer of the film.
I'm Cameron Carmichael and I play Jake Sinclair.
And I'm Samuel Terry and I play Harry Matthews.
The film tells the story about the Post-Apocalyptic Survivors Club, a club started by an ordinary person in charge of a bike shop called Jake, who has trouble sleeping at night. He's worried about the end of everything. So with his best friend Harry, he starts the club. And it takes off in a big way, so it attracts a lot of attention.
The dreams in the beginning become more frequent and realistic, so that could be a personal problem for Jake to go back to sleep, and something's there, and that's overgrowing in the night for him, and that's becoming a constant fear. So I think it's eventually it's haunting him, and him seeing in the news that it's reflecting. I guess it's quite certain it's coming.
It's a film about preparation. It's a film that takes itself lightheartedly, but it carries a real message. It's a film about the end, and it's a film about preparation. I think preparation is what I'm going for, yeah.
So they form the basis of the main group, obviously, which is why the film is named after that main group. But in the case of an apocalypse, normal people would probably turn to either the news or they would turn to their governments. So we also have those two groups. So.
Hi, I'm Madeline Lloyd-Jones and I'll be playing the newsreader in the Post-Apocalyptic Survivors Club film. I'm very excited about this film and this role. I think it's a very exciting story with really, really cool, uniquely written characters. I really like the newsreader. I think Lawrence says it himself best, she becomes the mouthpiece of the apocalypse. She basically is the narrator for the end of the world without realising it as time is going by. She's also that sort of role for the audience as the narrator through the film. The people who will eventually be watching our film will be told the story through the information that she's giving. A lot of the time it's just a voiceover in the background. So I really like the idea of this narrator of the apocalypse. I think it's a very, very cool role.
So we see a lot of her story and her struggles telling increasingly worse news. And we also have government, so we have our Prime Minister.
This Prime Minister, he's a career politician. So he's used to having a career. So he's come out of the military. He was involved in counterintelligence, this type of thing, and he's gone into politics. And he's a career politician. And like most people there, you go into one of two main parties. You go into the Conservatives, or you go into Labour. But he's gone into the Conservatives. and then through the introduction of proportional representation, he sees an opportunity to further his career, and that's at the end of the day, like any career politician, he'd go with what's the right thing for his career, not necessarily what's the right thing for the country. And just like we have the Green parties and the Liberal Democrats now that aren't going to really do anything unless they have proportional representation, the same with some of the right-wing parties. He's joined the Environmentalist Party, and what a move, because he's now Prime Minister.
Yes.
Yeah, probably doesn't deserve to be Prime Minister.
There is a fourth group actually, which is worth mentioning because it really is about the culmination of these groups meeting up. And the fourth group is a group who was assigned by the Prime Minister in the film to shut down a club, but they also have their own agenda as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see where that goes, because they are part of a super secret organisation and will really stop at nothing to get the job done, which is to shut down a club and the secondary mission.
Hi, I'm Adam and I'm going to be playing the part of Mr. Simpson in this great film. He feels comfortable in a military environment, war zones, combat zones, conflict, I guess. He knows what he's doing in that kind of thing. It's kept him alive for this long. So he doesn't do peace very well, he doesn't do diplomacy at all, and he has no respect for people's emotions. He doesn't do emotion, he doesn't understand all that soft stuff, he just doesn't get it. This guy wasn't nurtured, he's been trained. There's a difference, he just doesn't do emotions, and he doesn't do talking. He does dictating and telling and ordering, that doesn't really do conversation. So he's known as a facilitator. For that reason, he just gets jobs done. Don't ask him how he does it, he'll just do it. It's dodgy, it's going to be dark and some people will be offended, but the job is done.
I think the newsreader has a lot of admiration for Jake, who is the creator of the Post-Apocalyptic Survivors Club. I think she's been feeling things for a while over the course of the world slowly deteriorating and current affairs going more and more down the drain. And this one young man from a bike shop starting something that grows bigger than he ever could have imagined sort of awakens something in her that she hasn't really realised that she's been waiting for. It presents her with an opportunity, which I think is really cool. I don't actually know the end of the film, it's all top secret scenes, but I have a feeling that she's maybe going to go a bit rogue and join in the Survivors Club. I would really like to see that happen.
So he's giving his troops a bit of a speech, and his true colours come through a couple of times. You can see that in that speech, and this is the monologue that I had to do, by the way, for the audition. But it's a great piece. You can see that he's a troubled guy,
Because we want to make the film sound and look as realistic as possible, there aren't really going to be any special effects in the main part of the film. However, there are some dream sequences. Did someone mention zombies? So we can have a glimpse at different types of apocalypse, and maybe a zombie apocalypse if you're lucky. We're working on it. Depends on the budget.
I think this story needs to be told personally because it's a spin on the post-apocalyptic theme that isn't all doom and gloom. There's hope, there's comedy, there's life in it, because if you bash an audience member's head with negatives and horror all the time, then you kind of separate it from yourself. You kind of just like to pretend that thing could never happen. But in real life there is comedy, there is humour, there is lightheartedness, and it's the humanity that people are drawn to.
So it's going to be a case of, if you see the film and you walk out of the cinema or turn off your PlayStation or whatever, however you're going to watch this, you're thinking it should be more along the lines of wow, that could really happen. And the strapline of our film is based on a potentially true story, so we do want to make that look as real as possible, and for you to come away with like, well, that was, yeah, that could happen. You know, I can see that the news was getting worse. Okay, it starts off with bad weather, and then the Great Barrier Reef is being destroyed, and there's no more orangutans left, and it's steadily getting worse and worse. So, and these things are believable because actually now, even without a film, the news is getting worse, and certainly the news we hear is getting worse. So the film isn't going to be about, I must go home and dig myself a bomb shelter and fill it with beans. It should be, I'm going to think more carefully about my waste water, my waste packaging, my waste food, just everything really. Just think about something that you can do to change. So that is the main point of the film, and that is why we want people who are interested in the health of our planet to please help us get the story out there, get this film made. It will be great. Please, at the moment, if you can, help us out with a £1 donation, £5 donation, anything you want. You can buy the t-shirt if you want. I think these are quite popular. You can buy the t-shirt and just help us in any way possible. There is going to be a list of different packages on the crowdfunding website, so please just look into it. If you can spare something to help us, to help the environment, to get the warning out there, we would really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much.